Well, we are now going to go back to Martin Place, where our Today reporter Chris Urquhart is. Chris, that sea of flowers that's behind you, it just keeps on growing, doesn't it?
It's absolutely incredible, Ashlyn, and it's growing again this morning as office workers arrive to continue to pay their tributes. We were down here from the very, very early hours of yesterday morning. We were actually crossing back to the studio, and during one of those crosses, unbeknownst to us, someone, we don't know who they were, had placed this single posy of flowers on the ground, and in the quiet light that was rising over Martin Place yesterday morning, I tell you, it was incredible. And what it grew into, well, it's been something to behold.
At 6:30 yesterday, it appeared, a small bunch of flowers in the rising sun. I took this photo and shared it, a poignant moment in time. And as the day continued, more followed, a single bloom becoming a garden of grief, faith and hope.
What do you make of all the flowers that are here?
I think it's great. I think it's so Australian to all rally together and support. It's amazing.
We felt that it was an obligation for us to pay some respect.
It's a pretty emotional time for all of us, isn't it?
It is.
People stood and gathered and watched and grieved in the lunchtime rush.
It could have been us, like everybody goes and gets their coffee every morning and it's just horrible, absolutely horrible.
We never thought it would hit home and unfortunately it has.
And as the dignitaries, commissioners, politicians paid tribute, more so just regular Aussies from all walks of life.
Yeah, it's just, I've got no words for it, mate. It's just horrible.
Here at ground level, we really got a sense of how many flowers are down here, and the messages, message after message, bunch of flowers after bunch of flowers, and the sombre looks on people's faces as they lay them here, paying their respects, taking time out of their day because they feel it's important.
Even those perhaps too young to grasp the enormity brought along to pay their respects.
Because it's a sad time, and I wanted to give it to them because they died.
Some other bunches stood alone in separate parts of Martin Place. On this, a very personal message. Tori, you've been the kindest manager I've ever had. Rest in paradise. The demand for blooms across the city was incredible.
This gives you another sense of how much this has affected people. People queued in their lunchtime, busy office workers, busy people, places to be, things to do, but they're queued here, giving up their time just to get a bunch of flowers to pay respects to people that they've never met and that they'll never know.
George, another CBD florist, was sold out by 11 a.m.
Ever seen anything like this, George?
September 11 was something like, but nothing like this.
Nor in fact have any of us. A growing collection, a growing crowd. They signed books of condolence, and they were Aussies, wherever their families might once have been from.
Well, I consider myself an Australian, although I'm from Muslim background, but what this guy did wasn't what we stand for at all.
All faiths, all nationalities, all it seemed as one.
Spanish.
You're Spanish?
Yes.
You're Fijian?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you're from in the world, does it?
No, but we're all one. Never mind white or black, we're all one. That's what the Bible says.
All one.
All one.
Good on you, mate.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It was a comforting reminder of what's good in humanity at a time when we've seen so much that can be bad. And as darkness fell and day became night, a single gesture became a memorial, like none we've ever seen before, and one we hope we never have to see again.
Yeah, yesterday was a very upsetting day wherever you were, whether you were at home watching it unfold or whether you were here in Martin Place. For me, after all of our coverage yesterday, the comforting thing was to come and speak to those people from all walks of life, as we said there, from all nationalities as well, and there was a little bit of comfort in seeing the good in people when we've seen so much evil. And anyone who came down here yesterday was really united in two things. They were united, of course, in grief, but also united in that hope that we never have to see anything like this ever again.
I know, Chris, that you don't do your job for plaudits or applause, but I want to compliment you. That was beautiful what you just did, and you really caught the heartbeat of the Australian public. Well done, my friend.
Yeah, Chris, I must say, I was there last night, and it was just as night was falling, and it was lovely to to appreciate the mood that everybody had, and we really hope that for the families of those affected that this is bringing real comfort, because their pain would be unimaginable right now. And I must say, I just had a thought, looking at all of those beautiful flowers, that floral tribute will of course continue to grow, but there's so many beautiful messages there. The flowers won't last, but I think it would be a wonderful thing if whoever is in charge at, maybe it's the Lord Mayor or Sydney Council, goes through and methodically grabs all of those lovely messages and puts them into some sort of book for the families, particularly the families of Katrina and Tori, so that they have an ongoing understanding of just how much Australia feels for them and wants to be at one with them.
Yeah, it's extraordinary down here, and obviously we can't imagine the horror that they're going through, that those families go through as they go through all of the stages of grief that I suppose will never go away. But the feeling for the Johnson and Dawson families down here is just incredible, as we said, from people who've never met them, who will never meet them, but want to try and find a way, I suppose, to express what they're feeling, the grief that they're feeling, the sorrow. What else do you do but have a quiet symbol, feel like you're contributing to something bigger than yourself? And I think we've all felt it in whatever way, but I imagine in no possible way more than those two families and the families of the 17 hostages that were in there yesterday.
Yeah, Chris, sometimes you see great beauty in the darkest of times.